but I try not to let like this could get you canceled stop me from saying something.
Real quick, congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
out here, you're doing your thing, we making moves. So first of all, I ask everybody that comes here on real quick to tell me besides your name who you are and a thing that you love most about who you are.
Who am I? I'm a person who tries to live my life with integrity. And the thing I like most about myself is that I'm always willing to learn.
Mm, those are good habits to form. Where do you feel like you first got that from? Like the accepting the willingness to learn.
Mm, I don't know. I think I just grew up uh, valuing people's stories and experiences and knowing that you could learn from anybody and that it wasn't particular to education or anything, but just kind of you can learn from what people share with you. And I've always been into like hearing people's stories.
True. Well, we've seen, congratulations, because this Netflix special is a big black deal. We love to see an hour special on a Netflix streaming platform with a black woman comedian. Can you talk about what that was like receiving that call, getting this job?
I mean, it was exciting for sure. I've been working towards getting an hour for a while. I think that's a comedian's goal,
Right.
so get the opportunity was definitely super exciting.
Well, what does it look like to you to get a quote unquote big break? Because you've had like a really strong career as a comedian. A lot of the things you've been able to do would be considered big breaks. So what do you consider yours?
And I don't really believe in that.
Hmm.
So I just think it's a series of things that add up. I don't really think it's a thing that happens.
Right. And so for your trajectory so far, how do you feel about what you've been able to do? Because you've been able to share your, not just doing stand up, but your comedy has been able to do so much, being able to write and things like that. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess I feel lucky. I think when I first started, I didn't really know what direction it was going to take me in outside of the stage. You know what I mean? And so I was really just super focused on writing my jokes, and I really didn't really have any vision kind of for it past that. But as it grew and, these opportunities came along, just in that tradition of always being willing to learn and grow, it was kind of like, why not
Right.
just up into these spaces? And I mean, I just feel grateful.
What about, because this Netflix special does a lot in that it has commentary as any comedian does. And I know that a lot of people were like probably clutching their pearls around some of it, but we are in a space where comedians often toe the line. They step on the line, and it usually is fine. But in the space of the reckonings that we are coming into of 2020 and the cancel cultures and all this and that, um, as a comedian, do you feel like you have to censor yourself for the sensitivity's sake?
I mean, I think you're aware of it because how could you not be aware of it? But I try not to let it dictate what I'm going to do artistically.
Right. Because like at the end of the day, you have to be able to go there as a comedian, or otherwise it doesn't
Right.
do
There's
it.
not doing the job. And
Right.
so, yeah, I just try not to let that stuff get in the way of artistically what I'm creating and why I'm creating. Like if something feels off or wrong, then I'm gonna definitely look at it and see like, why are you saying this? Or is this the way you want to say this? Is this getting your message across? Is there different language you could use? But I think that's just a natural process that comedians go through.
Right.
Um, but I try not to let like this could get you canceled stop me from saying something.
Right. Exactly. Um, I'm curious about the first time you knew that you had something special when it came to being able to be funny professionally.
Mm, I mean, I think the first joke I had was like a Mad Men joke, a joke about white guys in America and Mad Men, and it was like the first joke that felt like everything I wanted a joke to be. It felt smart. It felt like it was challenging people's sensibilities. It was funny. It was a longer joke, so it had some build to it. It wasn't just like this rush in and out joke. And I think that was the first joke that made me feel like, oh, you could do this. Like you can do an hour, you can do this, you know.
Right. Um, what does a build up to an hour look like?
You know, it's just like you got a few premises and bits and you just start working them. And it's just a lot of stage time and a lot of touring and taking it out and seeing how it hits in different parts of the country. And hopefully, if you can, different parts of the world, as much as you can do that. And, you know, just really just working the material kind of relentlessly to get to a place where it feels good and comfortable to you. And you know, whatever your goals are, my goal was for it to feel like very streamlined, like one conversation, and for it to feel very conversational in its tone. And so, you know, you just keep working it till you kind of get it there in the most basic way, which is just getting on stage.
Right. Now, as a comedian who does write as well and writes for others, I feel like you've had your fair share of run-ins with people who you admire comedically. Can you talk a little bit about like some of those meetings and how that felt to be able to have that full circle?
Sure. I mean, I guess like I don't know, you meet so many people, right, in the process of doing it. I feel like uh people that stick out is like, you know, the first time I met Chris Rock at SNL, that was huge for me because I'm a huge Chris Rock fan. And uh he's kind of the first comedian that I saw that I felt like, oh, that's how I'm funny. It was the first time I had saw a black comedian doing all those things like with that still that Def Jam energy of my generation. You know, I'm not, you know, like I'm not dumb. I'm aware that there was priors and all those
Right.
out of my generation. I hadn't seen anybody. So then in that regard, I didn't know if I was like funny, you know, because I was like, well, I'm not like Def Jam funny and I'm not Comic View funny. And I find that very funny, but this is not my humor is a long, like lot or long form. And it just isn't as like quick paced as that. And I was like, well, maybe I'm more of a writer than a stand up because you got to have all that, you know, to be a stand up. And then it wasn't until I saw like Chris Rock, who's been very black and still had that Def Jam energy, but it was long form and it was kind of heady. And I was like, oh, you know, a light kind of came
Yeah.
on. So it was cool to meet him. And that definitely felt like a crazy moment to be in a space that he worked in, doing a job he once did to some level. Felt pretty incredible.
Yeah, that had to be something else because that is like he is one of those ones that you watch for a long time and then being able to like see him and meet him. So he thinks you funny?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
You're like, I just met him. We don't even
don't know.
listen, he's had to see your special by now, hopefully.
Maybe.
Well, now that you got money, CMJ, what's been your wealthiest purchase so far? Something that you, because I know that you've had very humble beginnings. You talk about your
Um,
Starbucks times.
hmm. I don't know. I guess my apartment.
Now you have a doorman of
My
a situation.
rent. Yeah, I pay a lot of rent. That's probably the most expensive thing I do.
Listen,
Pay a lot.
I can see your windows. I see the floor to ceiling. I'm in Brooklyn, so like everything is
Okay,
just right here.
I like it. But yeah,
Yeah, congratulations. Does it feel good? Because you don't ever think as a comedian, I guess nowadays more so, there's a lot more opportunities to go big. But I don't think that, you think as a comedian, oh, I'm about to like be a superstar.
but yeah. No, I don't think anyone thinks that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it feels good to be able to like have my rent on auto pay and not be like
Ah,
worried about things that I used to be super worried about.
goals.
That feels nice for sure.
Yeah, that's goals because I'm always stressed about it, even though like I know it's fine.
Right, right. Like it's still a successful thing. So like I feel like when I really wasn't like stressed about it, I was like, I was very kind of like, whoa, okay.
Oh, that's a good, like, wholesome, but still like relatable ass goal. Auto pay is a dream. All
Yeah,
the bills too?
yeah, I'm gonna go as well.
Woo! Congratulations. We love that. Um, what even would you do if it wasn't comedy? Like, is there anything else?
I mean, I don't see it. I don't want to say like no for sure because I'd like to believe I have potential to do anything I put my mind to, but I don't know that there was anything else I would have wanted to put my mind to for sure.
Right. A lot of comedians do go into producing and acting. Do you see that stretching from your skill set as a comedian?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna produce and I've already been in front of the camera, so I guess I
Right.
can say no to that. Yeah, sure. I think it kind of those doors start to open and yeah, it would be kind of foolish not to walk through and at least see, because in the same spirit of being a lifelong learner, I try. Why wouldn't I try it? If I don't like it, that's another thing. But I'm not in opposition of trying anything, and especially when you start getting to developing your own projects, you want to be able to do the things behind it in front of the camera, and I just think it gives you more tools in your toolbox. And I just look at it as other things to be funny with, and it allows me to be funny and creative in different spaces, and that helps with like not getting bored and growing in the thing that you're doing, whatever it is. You always want to be kind of expanding your knowledge base of what you're doing, and I feel like that's kind of the natural lead for comedy is like producing and acting and writing movies or writing series and stuff like that. So that's all stuff that I'm doing and have done and enjoy.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes open for you to see what else you got in there, in your bag. If we were to create, or if you were to be created by like a love child, a love child of different comedians, who would we pull from to create Sam J?
Uh, I don't know, like everybody from Tough Crowd, and then like Carlin, and then like Eddie Murphy, and then like Wanda Sykes, and then like Wayne's, and then like I,
Oh,
I guess
yeah, a sprinkle, an orgy, if you will.
yeah, and then like Bugs.
Bugs Bunny. You're like a jokester like that.
I think it was the first. I don't know about Jokester. I always saw him as a wise ass.
Hmm, that's true. That's true. Um, how do you stay grounded? Because now I feel like so much is going. Well, we're in this weird pandemic, everybody at the house situation, but it's starting to feel like a whirlwind in the sense of you being able to like hit Netflix and beyond, right? So now we're gonna see you in so many more places, hopefully. So how are you going to remain grounded in the space that you are? Because you feel very like it's fine. I'm just doing things.
That's genuinely how I feel.
Right.
So, like it's all just like it's not to diminish what it is, and that's always a tough line because, I'm super aware that people dream to do this. I dream to do it. You know what
Right.
I mean? It's not to diminish it, but at the same time, you are the person like doing it, and I think you just have to have a reasonable head around that. And I don't feel particularly special. I don't feel special. I just feel like a person who like applied the energy in the right direction, and I really do feel like I'm not. I didn't do anything that anybody where I'm from is not capable of doing. The only reason that some people that are still like where I'm from and struggling is just because no one has spoken life into them and told them they were capable or showed them how they were capable, so people spend a lot of time in the dark, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I feel more like blessed than special. And also, my girlfriend, she just always tells me that I'm not cute and that I ain't shit, and I think that probably helps.
Keeps you humble. Keeps you humble.
Yeah, so.
Well, we need that. Y'all's relationship is hella cute. I mean, you definitely went in on sis on your special, but I watched y'all did an interview on Netflix on YouTube, and I said, okay, so she ain't hurt by that.
Oh no, she's fine.
She gets it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true stuff. It's like it's my perspective on the argument for sure. She'll tell you that I was being ridiculous and I was overreacting, and but she does believe that she doesn't have to put her phone in airplane. Like these are real arguments that we had. It wasn't like stuff I made up.
You're like,
So,
no, she really was playing the game.
yeah, she really does that stuff and drives me insane. And so, it was grounded in real stuff, and it's always from a place of like I really, really, really love my girlfriend, and she's my best friend, and I really just value her presence in my life a great deal, and she's super aware of that. And I don't do jokes that I don't ask her if they're okay to do. Or
Right, I wouldn't see you going up there talking like that, and she didn't know.
yeah, I don't do that. So we're good.
Well, that's good. It's lovely to see, especially because she is such a strong thread in this comedy special. I feel like now the world is like invested in her, and now you got her. She's a part of your brand.
That was so unexpected, but yeah, and she loves it. She loves to have this to hold over my head that I needed her to to do this.
Let her know I love her energy. It just I really understand it. I identify with it. So what's next? I know that that's a horrible question considering we're in this world and it's a mess. And you just came out with this dope ass special, which you can ride on for a minute. But what are you working on in this Rona? And what does comedy look like for you anyway at this time?
Well, I mean, there's a few pop-up little outdoor shows going on in New York, and I go pop in on those and, try to just do those here and there to keep the edge off. And then I'm developing things, I'm writing things, I'm sitting in meetings, things are being talked about, but it's nothing till it's something. So it's all just like stuff.
Yeah, part. And even then they're like, well.
And it's like, the world is so crazy. You could get a deal, you could sell a pilot right now. You don't know when you're making it. You don't know when you're, there's no real sense of like any of that. So it all kind of feels like talk at the present moment, but it's all good talk and it's exciting talk, and I feel super grateful that it's going on and that the piece of art that I put in the world, people are seeming to get and enjoy, as much as there's some people who absolutely fucking hate it. And I think that's what good art is a little bit. It's polarizing. And so I just feel like, I'm just letting it take me wherever it takes me. I'm not, I'm just being water, or at least trying to be.
Or at least trying to be. Well, good for you. It's really exciting to see someone who put in the work and someone who is just outside of the lines win. And I really appreciate everything that you've been able to do so far. So I'm rooting for you, and I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course. Please stay grounded and amazing.
I'm gonna try. I'm definitely.
It's a weird world, so please.